Hi, welcome to Mouse Ears and Mommy Tears, the podcast where we balance parenthood in the world of Disney. We're your hosts, Natalie,
Jen, and Nicole.
Each week we will discuss topics about being former Disney kids turned Disney adults to now Disney moms. Stay with us while we unravel this hot mess express.
Hello.
Hi.
How are my friends on this wonderful day?
I bet Nicole is like feeling the greatest out of all of us.
So excited.
I know.
So excited.
I know. I've had one of those days, and like I have to say, working moms, I commend all of you who go into the office because I am a working mom that does her 9 to 5, but I'm also a pumping mom. So I had to go into the office today in the city and basically not work because commuting was over an hour. Then I get there and everyone's like, "Hey, Natalie, did you check this?" I'm like, No, sorry. Where's the pumping room? Go straight to the pumping room, not work for another 30 minutes, then finally get on my computer to check my email, and then pretty much have to like pump again. So, moral of the story, everyone should be remote. I got like nothing done today.
I wish I could be. I just don't know how that would work for my job.
Yeah.
You don't want to do virtual OT? I think it's a great concept.
From the
You
hospital?
should totally do it.
By the way, I know you can't hear me. You're intubated, but lift your arm.
I'm ready to talk about a subject that honestly we should have probably talked about earlier since our last podcast that came out. We've referenced this event multiple times.
We did.
So it's time to finally talk about our Run Disney experience, folks. Cue the clapping. There we go.
Here's my Run Disney.
Jen's wearing the shirts.
My only souvenir that shows that I did something.
I got a magnet.
Well, I have our actual shirt too. Didn't they give us a shirt, a purple one?
You did.
Yes, I wore it the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you wear it? I don't know where mine is. I wear this one every now and then.
That's the one I reach to most out of all my Spirit jerseys, the runDisney one. I don't know. It was just so fun. I think that's why. It
is a fun one. It's got like,
road trip.
You see, it's got like the ombre, so it's like, I'm gonna stand up, light to dark, so it's fun.
Do you remember how nervous we were that they weren't going to have any shirts for us? The design came out and we were like, that is the best shirt ever.
But I really thought that when we got to the expo center that there was going to be a lot more people. I think we got a very early virtual queue. We got really lucky.
It was so early.
I don't know how.
All on it, trying to get Guardians and the runDisney virtual queue.
I know.
We were early for both.
For both of them. I think we were like under 30 for both of them. I think we were like 10 for the virtual queue. So
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
All right.
Okay, because now we're talking about virtual queues.
I know.
We're not like, let's tell the audience what we're talking about today. We were talking about Run Disney from the perspective of 3 very much non-runners. For those of you who don't know about Run Disney events are Disney's marathon and running type events. There are 4 in Disney World and there are 2 in Disneyland. The 4 in Disney World is Wine and Dine, Marathon Weekend, Disney Princess Half Marathon, and Springtime Surprise. So let's just start from the beginning. I'll just start off here. Let me just tell the folks how this happened. I saw that the Princess Half Marathon registration was coming up, and everything online was talking about the registration coming up. And I was like, there's no way in hell we would be able to get this because everyone talks about how awful it is. And I'm on my way to work, and I'm like, oh, I don't even know how you do this. Like, do you click this link? Oh, look at me. I'm in a virtual queue. So I just was in it, and I'm like, I'm driving. Who cares? Just like keep it open. Who cares? Went back home, went to work, text Nicole. It was like, by any chance I get this, you wanna go on a Run Disney with me? And she's like, haha, LOL, sure. And I'm like, she's not gonna go, but it's fine. And I was like, I'm not going to get it. Everyone says I'm not going to get it. Next thing I know, it's like, you're in. You got 10 minutes. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Filled out as much information as I possibly could. It was asking me runner stats. Like I knew what the heck that was. I had to Google what miles per minute was or like whatever it is, like your minute time. I'm like, what are you asking me? I don't know what I'm doing. And I just like put everything in. I was like, does Nicole have a middle name? No, for this purpose, she doesn't. I'm just like filling things out for her. Then I get in, I finish it, and then my computer's virtual queue opens up because I had it up on two. So when that one opened up, I didn't need it anymore. And then I text my good friend Jen. I said, hey, you want to join me, Nicole? I have a virtual queue up right now on my computer. And you're like, I'm working right now. I'm reading this through my watch, but okay. Enough said. We're done. Okay. So that's how this started, was because it has always been on my bucket list, which we will have an episode about our Disney bucket lists. I happened to get in, so threw us into the ring for the 5K. But when I say I had no idea how hardcore this stuff is, I know you guys understand. As trying to figure out how to make sure you guys were registered, because I'm the one that registered you, but then there were all these rules. Now you have to make a runDisney account, and then they have to be matched into it. I'm like, this is too much. I will let you guys talk about your perspective of when I signed you guys up for it, but that quick synopsis was necessary.
Oh yes, it was the most impulsive thing I did through my watch.
I remember that so vividly too. You were like, hold on, I'm talking to my watch. And then you went dark for like 10 minutes. And we were like, so is that a yes?
Always a yes. I was
like,
working in
it better be,
outpatient that
because
day.
she
So
owes me $150 now.
yeah. Well, I was working in outpatient and you're like right with the patient. Like I can't like go away. You're with them for like an hour. And I'm like doing my manual therapy with them while I'm like, yes, like I just keep it. I'm like, hang on one second. Answering you via that. And I'm like, I have to get a sip of water. Texting
You're
real
like,
quickly.
yes, all right,
Yes,
I'll
of
do
course.
it.
What? I literally remember that day. It was so much fun.
Right? I vividly remember too. I remember being at work. You like Natalie texted me and being like, you want to do it? And I'm like, all right, sure, whatever. Like I didn't think you would get it.
Yeah, me
Because of
neither.
all the horror
Neither did
stories
I,
we hear
guys.
about
I know. I was like,
signing up
sure,
for a Run
if
Disney
you get
race.
it.
I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then when you said you got in, I remember I texted my husband and I'm like, yo, me and Natalie and Jen are running a 5K. And he's like, you guys aren't running. And I'm like, no, we're not running, but we're going to do it.
But we are a part of a 5K. You don't have to run it.
Guys, I remember I had the ultimate ambitions. I went out, I bought myself some new athletic
You
gear,
did! Oh my God.
$250 running shoes. I'm like, I'm gonna
I
do this.
forgot.
I'm gonna do this. I put on my Peloton app, the like road to a 5K, and then boom, got pregnant. And I was like,
That's right. You weren't pregnant when we signed up for the races.
no, I was not,
No.
my friend. I was not.
Oh my God. But it worked out for our costumes, I will say.
Our costumes were, I was Olaf.
I was Anna.
And I was Elsa.
And it was
I
so
miss
much
my light
fun.
up tutu. I really wish
Oh,
I still had that.
I loved your cape too. It had like snowflakes on it.
I still have that. My daughter steals it.
There were highlights that were fun to pick up on the way. No one told me how slamming and like it's like a party to go to that expo. Like they're
Yeah.
pumping the music, the vibe was right. Never been to ESPN World of
Yeah.
Sports before.
No.
There's a lot of things that I had no idea. Like you said it was on your bucket list. I never cared for Run Disney. I am not a runner. I am a walker. But I'm not a runner. I never really cared about it, but I'm so glad we did it and I feel out of like the whole thing, I want to do it again. But I want to try the 10K, but it was so fun going to the expo and I'm not a runner, so seeing all those other people that are so into it was a little intimidating, and the corrals intimidated me immensely. because I didn't realize, I didn't know anything. I knew absolutely nothing. So
The shopping was so fun because we were so stressed about getting that Spirit jersey. We like
Yeah.
literally ran. We got in, we ran right
Yeah.
over, we grabbed our sizes, and we were like, okay, there's like 1,000 of them, and they were restocking so much. But I also thought that doing Run Disney, I followed like so many Instagram Run
Same.
Disney accounts, like all these girls that have done Dopey, and they do all of
With
the
their
Disneyland
schedules.
races, and their schedules of when they have to
Yeah.
train, and like the seriousness of being a Run Disney athlete. That side of it was amazing, the dedication that these people have that we definitely
Yeah.
did not.
I love the two different sides because you're like, it was amazing. For me, I'm like, I'm following this. I'm a freaking fraud.
Yeah.
Like,
I felt like
that's
the biggest.
how I
I
took
kind of,
that in.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, amazing for you. What the heck am I doing watching this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
to the point that after a while, I'm like, I can't even follow half of these accounts anymore because I don't even know what you're saying. And then use this piece of paper, and I'm like, yeah, no, I just ate some tacos. Like, I'm out of here.
Wasn't there like a
I can't do
pacer
this
group
anymore.
too? Like where like they run a certain pace or something? Like there were
Mm-hmm.
so many intricacies within Run Disney that I will never understand because I
And
don't
let it be
run
known.
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't run
and let it be
5Ks around
known
here.
we definitely aspire to be you. We have the utmost respect for these runners and their
Oh, for sure.
pacers and their numbers. We envy you, but we are frauds when we're there. Like, we're just
Fraud.
straight frauds. And another thing, just to piggyback off of Nicole's mention of there were so many Spirit jerseys. When I went back to work, I spoke to my coworker who has done Run Disney 4 times. So I spoke to her and I was telling her about, like, oh, I don't know why I was so worried about the merchandise. Spirit jerseys being sold out. There was plenty there. She goes, no, they were definitely sold out quickly. I was like, there were so many. She's like, when did you go? And I told her. Apparently, us frauds went the day before. But when you're a real runner, you don't come in for the first day. That's just an expo. You come in later. She's like, if you
Oh.
try to go to the
Oh.
expo on the second day, there is nothing left. She's done the marathons. She said that, like, she wants to do a dopey challenge, the one thing she hasn't done yet. But
God.
she said there was one time where she went on the second day, not even the latest, but she went like earlier on the second day, and there was like not even a magnet for her to buy. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, there's so many people. Remember, we saw them that were like off to the side that had like 8 of everything, and they're just sitting there on the floor and they're
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
scanning things. And then those are the people that you see that resell them. I know there
For
are a lot
sure.
of them because I'm still a part of the Run Disney like Facebook groups, and people are posting why we can't have nice things because people just buy out things because anyone can go to the expo. You don't have to be a runner to go to the expo because it's just open. You just need the virtual queue. You just have to be in Disney to
That's
do
true.
it.
Right.
So I guess that's why merch just sells out, which also, so we're not that big of a fraud. At least we ran it or had a bib. We were a part of it. We were a part of the 5K. We weren't just in Disney and then we're like, hey.
You went from, at least we ran it. At least we're part of it.
Okay, we didn't run. There was
Honestly,
no
it
running.
was so like the most fun. I mean, we all hated gym class. Like, imagine we did not
Literally.
want to run a mile in gym class as an eighth grader, whatever
I
grade
would
we had
do
to run
this.
it.
If they were
But
like, hey, this is gym class, this would be fun.
this was so fun. We willingly signed ourselves up to walk/run/dance
Damn.
3.1 miles in Disney.
We
It was so
really were
much fun.
just showing off for the photographers because that was the most fun, was the little photo pass guys in the green tents.
Do you guys remember the progression of that morning? Okay. When we found out the time that we had to get up for this thing, does anyone remember the first thing out of my mouth, out of your mouth, and out of Nicole's mouth?
No.
Why is this so early?
Why?
What the hell is wrong with these
I don't
people?
understand
Didn't
it.
we went to bed at like 10:30. We were not the smartest. And then we got
No.
up at like 2,
I
2:30.
know.
Didn't we
It
get
was
on a
bad.
bus by like 3:30? It was, why?
And then you sit in the corral for another hour and a half because we're the end corral. And it doesn't even matter for the
Right.
5K because it's not timed. So we could have been at the back of the corral and it would have been fine. But I think we were all paranoid because we're like, it says we have to be
Now,
there at this
again,
time.
these were terms that I didn't understand or know. I'm like,
Mm-mm.
what is corral? Are we cattle? I'm very confused right
I
now.
kind of felt like
what
that.
are you saying to me?
did.
We're cattle.
Pushed all towards the start line.
Once they like opened our corral and we had to start making our way around those like queues, that was intense. There were people like trying to cut you off, and I'm like, dude, it's untimed. I don't care if I'm in front of you or behind you.
Where are you
Again.
going?
Frauds. This is a fraud podcast, folks. Okay, where we talk about being frauds.
My favorite part was
there were
us
people trying to cut us off. Yeah, because they were like worried about their time.
waiting in the crowds. We weren't even in like the queue towards the starting line, and people were finishing their race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were
Yeah.
like, we didn't even start.
We're like, congratulations, you just won the race. We watched the first person cross the finish
Clapping,
line.
like cheering. Still waiting.
It was fun though when you're in the corral, there's a stage, and we're very close to the stage when you're in the very last corral because you're
Yeah.
gonna need the entertainment because you're there for an hour and a half while everyone else goes in front of you. But it was fun, like when they would open up the first corral and then the people would walk and everyone starts cheering for them. They're like, "Yeah, good job, good luck."
Remember when we thought any day now, any minute for us, we're like, oh, that's awesome, cool, we're off, and then it was literally like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It was cold. I remember being cold. I was
It was
very
like if we knew we were going to sit in the crowds for that long, and we knew it would be ridiculously long wait to even start the race, I probably would have brought water. Probably would have gotten a snack the night before at Epcot and ate it in the morning. But
I actually feel like we were lucky because the weather was not bad.
it wasn't
not in the
raining.
morning.
We were chilly. I'm not gonna say we were cold because it got warmer.
It did get warmer.
Right, but there are
I'm always
people who
cold,
have
though.
done it in the rain
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
when it's like freezing, you know.
Or
I
sweat,
think
like
we got
really
lucky.
hot. Like it could be really, really hot, like that springtime one. Or even the Wine and Dine, I think, can get really hot too.
The springtime one that just happened a couple weeks ago in April, I followed one of the girls still on like the runDisney Instagram, and it was humid. The one day that she finished, she was like drenched in sweat. She was like, I'm so hot, I need to go shower. Like, I don't think we felt that way when we did ours, but it was also February.
Yeah.
So
and we were not running.
And we weren't running.
Yeah.
No.
We weren't
running.
trying to keep a pace of anything. We weren't keeping track. I still couldn't tell you how long it took us to finish because we stopped so many times just to like chill, and we didn't stop for any characters.
I was pregnant, and you had to stop for me multiple times because of my little pregnant fat legs. Were not going to move as you guys are dancing and going ahead of me. I'm like, guys, I can't move as quick as you.
You were literally Olaf.
The cutest little Olaf.
Yes.
Cutest little Olaf.
But I will say,
but like,
in the beginning, like there was all those different stations, and we just bypassed all of them and went straight to our corral. So I'm curious as to what was over there, and if that would have given us like water and stuff before. I don't know what it was. We just went straight to the crowd. There were
because
so
I remember
things.
watching like other Instagram things and stuff, and like looking for tips, and people were saying if you want coffee or something like that, get it beforehand. But I think there might have been like one truck and you could have bought something.
Like it's just whatever can fit in your pockets. So you're not
because they had that bag check too in the beginning. You could check a bag for the end of the race.
Yeah.
Which didn't realize that either until we were there. So
many things
we didn't really bring anything. Yeah, we brought I brought like a tiny fanny pack. I remember just to like hold my phone.
I just think I had.
I'm so glad we did it. Yeah. And it's like such a good experience that we did it. But I have to say, though, if we just go back real quick to the progression of that morning where we condemned that thing, we're like, we are never doing this again. Freaks, off this early. We are never doing this again. Ugh, I have to grab a charter bus right now at 3 a.m. I'm never doing this again. Did I just wait an hour and a half for this stupid corral? I am never doing this again. We get our medals and we're like, let's do this again next year. Yeah, next year. That was literally us. We
Yep.
were cursing it until it was over, and Jen was ready to book a 10K. We're like, all right, chill, chill. All right.
I did
You didn't
book
even
a
unpeel your
10K.
banana
You
yet.
did.
And you're like,
She
"I'm gonna
did.
10K."
I just never ran it because I was pregnant.
You were like very
Let's just-
pregnant too.
I feel like we should go right into our grind our gears
Oh,
right
yeah.
now, because we're mentioning things that bothered us. But any last minute thoughts before we go to our grind our gears?
I wish I had time to do the characters. Like,
Right.
I feel like I like the characters, but yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we were in
Yeah.
such a rush to finish because we didn't know when they would like kick us really off
Yeah.
the course.
We didn't know when
Those
we would be.
character lines were long.
Yeah. I
I
remember
think it must be
seeing.
even longer with the 5K because it's not timed. It
Right.
has to be longer.
That's what I'm assuming, because I know with like the marathon and maybe the half marathon, you can even ride on rides because the park's
Yes.
open by then.
I've seen people ride like Everest.
Yeah.
A lot of Everest for the
Yeah.
marathon. Yeah.
Yeah, because you go through all of it. And I know some of the people in like Corral A, they have time and they're just going to ride on the single rider. But if I was in the last
Right.
corral,
Right,
I'm
'cause they
going to
can.
just keep going. I'm not going to be able to enjoy those things because I don't want to get kicked out. Yeah.
But at the same time, those lines seemed like annoyingly long. That I was like, you're killing my vibe a little bit if I have to
Yeah.
stop to like wait here.
Well, you also didn't know who the character was until you passed the line. So you had to see how long the line was just to see who the character was. And to be honest, I didn't really care for half the ones that were there. It wasn't anyone
So
special.
I think let's call that a collective grind our gears, is the
collective grind our
character
gears.
lines. Yeah.
Group
Yeah.
agreement.
I'm gonna go into mine right now, and we already discussed it, but this is what I had planned to talk about. Why do you have to wake up so early just to wait in a corral for over an hour?
Yeah.
My God, that
Right.
is the worst. Grind
Agreed.
my ears. That is the worst.
Yeah.
I can understand getting up early if you're running like a marathon, 26 miles.
Yeah.
Yes, you need that time to run throughout
I think
the
that's
park.
pretty standard too.
Yeah.
Like,
Getting up early for
we're
those.
doing
Yeah.
a 5K.
I
It's 3
know.
miles. We don't have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Who? Gosh. But I think that's why I can never do one of those challenges, because they do it every day. So
Yeah.
if you do the 5K, you do the 10K, you do the half, and then you do the full. So I give people that do the dopey so much credit, because I could not hang the next day. Like
No.
after our 5K of having that like wake up early, run, and then just, live your life the rest of the day, I was dead to the world. So if I had to do that whole thing over again the next day for the 10K, nope, I would have been out. Like,
No.
can't
And we
do
touched on it in our other podcast episode about the dessert party. At the end, we paid for it and we were like, we are staying for this harmonious dessert party.
Yeah, we signed up for that.
And we were all just like,
It
cool,
sounded fun
let's go.
when
It
we
was-
booked it, but I think we didn't realize how long of a day that was going to be, because Harmonia's was at 9 and we've been up since 2 a.m. just like trying to get through because we paid for it. And we're like, this is a dessert party. It's so cool. We're going to love it. And
Also, when we came back, we all took showers, and then I took a very long nap.
you did.
I'm like, bye, guys. You guys can pretend like you want to talk and chill. Bye. I am taking a nappy naps.
Like you
No.
would a normal trip, because like you're saying, you need the naps. You need to fuel. Like you need to have a substantial meal the night before and know that you're going to be completely exhausted for 4 days, more so than anyone will ever be when they're going on a Disney trip, because not only are you running however many miles that morning, you walk like 10 miles a day just in Disney, just doing Disney. Like it's a lot.
Yep.
It's a lot.
Is that your grind your gears?
No, it's
How much
not.
it is? That was just an extra rant.
That was an extra rant. I have a lot of grind my gears when it comes to runDisney. No, my actual one is the registration process is freaking cutthroat. Okay. So, like you were saying, you have to get into a virtual queue. So, I know you booked it for hours, but I had so much fun and I was on a runner's high and I was like, I'm going to do the 10K. And I wish we did it, but I was at work and I was in the virtual queue and I was trying to do everything. I was on my phone and I got into it, but there was some sort of glitch or whatever. And it didn't let you in. Like, I didn't know when you were registering that you could get in through any of them. I thought if you clicked 5K, that meant you were going into the 5K link. If you were going in through the 10K, you had to click the 10K one. So one of them opened, but not the others. The one that I wanted for the 10K didn't open. So I was waiting for it. And apparently, while I was waiting, people were buying it. So I completely missed it. I did not get the 10K for Wine and Dine, and I was so upset because that's the only one. Like, I really want to do Wine and Dine. If I ever did it, I would want to do Wine and Dine weekend. I just love the Food and Wine
I have to tell
Festival.
you that I did speak to my coworker, and she said Wine and Dine is the absolute best one, and she's done all of them, and she's also done one in Disneyland, and she said Disneyland ain't got nothing on Disney World.
Oh,
So
I
then
can
I
only
asked
imagine.
her, yeah, I asked her, I said, what was like the best and worst part of it? And she said with Disneyland, the best part is that it's close. So you don't have to like get up super early to like
Yeah.
get there. You're just walking there. You walk right through downtown Disney and like you
You're
get
there.
there. She said the worst part is that when you're doing it on Disney World, they have all the entertainment for you. They have characters.
Yeah.
Well, you're walking in Anaheim for most of it. You're
Oh,
Yeah.
doing your run in the middle of Anaheim for most of it. So
I
I was
wouldn't
like
want that.
teasing her the other day. I'm like, what? Anaheim's not magical? She goes, no, it is not, my friend. It is not.
It's not.
But
It's
she
really not.
said that Wine and Dine is the best because you're running through the parks. I guess when
Yeah.
you're doing as many miles as she's doing, you're running through multiple parks and it's not just like through one or a lot of like parking lot business. She's like you're running through the park, a much better experience. But she also said that Wine and Dine is the one that has burned her every time.
I
She's
was
every
so
time she's had
upset.
an issue getting in, it's been Wine and Dine.
Yeah, that's when I didn't
Wow.
know. So I didn't know how bad it was going to be. And I was so upset about it that I didn't get it to the point where I took off to register for the marathon so that I could have I had my computer, I had my laptop, like I had my computer, my iPad and my phone. Virtual queues on all of them. I was ready and I got it and I secured the 10K. But the whole registration process, I wish it was easier. Like I wish you could fill out your information beforehand and just have it upload or something. So because that's where you miss out with the 10K. What happened for me with Wine and Dine, I got myself registered, but then I went to add Chuck and it was gone. So
Oh.
by the time, like, I thankfully I didn't purchase it because then I would have been running by myself. But I wish you could like fill out the information beforehand or something. You know, like how it has like an autofill. You have to create an account anyway. So why can't it just save your information, save everything? So all you have to do is click through,
Yeah.
or I don't know. I hate how I hate the whole registration process. And if I did get it for myself and not Chuck, I can't get refunded. There is no refunds. Once you
No.
purchase it, you are done. You are going. I don't care what you're doing. You are running that freaking 10K or whatever it is. I got really lucky with the marathon where I reached out and I was like, hey, I don't know what to do. I'm pregnant and I'm due like in 2 weeks after the 10K. Like I can't travel. There's no
Yeah.
way I'm coming down. And um they went back and forth. They're like, well, it's policy that we can't do anything for you. I'm like, that's fine. It sucks for people that want it because now they can't open up my spot. So I can't go. I still have to pay for not going. I can't give it to somebody else. It's my registration. So I can't even say, hey, Nicole, you want to go? No, it's under me. I can't even transfer. You can't transfer it and you can't
You
like
should be allowed
refund
to
it.
transfer it.
Yeah.
Especially with the
Right.
circumstance you had, you should have been allowed to transfer it.
Yeah. I mean, they
Especially
were
the
very,
10Ks or the 5Ks. Maybe not the
yeah.
marathon, but you should be able to transfer the fun shorter races for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It just made me feel bad because I know there's somebody out there that didn't get it that could have ran, and I have a spot that I didn't use. Like, we don't always do this, but it was like a good faith kind of a thing where they gave me a gift card of my funds back, which was very kind. And they did not have to do that. They didn't do it for Chuck because he still could have went if he wanted to. But
he could have totally left his wife.
Going
Yes.
7 weeks pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were sitting on the couch. He's like, so I have my vacation booked right now and I need to get on a plane. I'm like, screw you. But the registration process.
He would not have ran that 10K. He would have just like,
he wasn't
been
gonna
like, yeah, I'm
run it
gonna go
ever.
run and then just like eat snacks.
The snack box at the end was fun.
It was a good snack box. Although
Yes.
I really like the medal. I'm sad I didn't get my medal. And the spirit jersey for marathon weekend this year was so cute. Ugh.
It was really cute.
It. But I am glad, along with the registration, you can pre-order the merch. But so like I would buy it at home, but you have to pick it up at the expo. So if you don't go, you now bought it and then you can't pick it up. So now you're out a spirit jersey and out the money for it. And that's just even sadder.
I mean, I guess it's worth it if you're one of those people that, aren't going on the first day, or, you're actually there to run the race and not like us to buy the merch, only. Then yes, I think that pre-order thing is probably like a major big deal for a lot of those people.
I was highly contemplating it because I obviously was very into running this race. But then I found out I was pregnant and I knew I was not going to be able to do it 2 weeks before my due date. What's yours,
What's
Nicole?
your grind your gears, Nicole?
My grinds my ears. All right, so we touched on it a little bit before. It's the whole bib pickup, t-shirt pickup at ESPN Worldwide of Sports, whatever it's called. I didn't understand why we had to go to one location, wait in line to get our bibs, and then we had to take our bib and go to a whole nother building and walk through that whole humongous building to get to where our free t-shirts were. Like,
There's
our
3
t-shirt size is on the bib. Why couldn't we just get it all together in one location? The t-shirts weren't they selling like little booths were there selling runners?
Their little booths by like last name or something.
Right. Like, we didn't even look through any of that. We just literally got our t-shirt. We were like, you want to hit the parks? You want to go back to the
Do you remember how like it wasn't like it was a big line or anything, but that place was huge.
It was
because
gigantic.
I feel like we were walking and corralled to get it, like, and going down an escalator and up an escalator. At one point, you guys took me aside and asked me if I needed like a soda from the concession stand because I was walking 3 miles just to get my shirt.
Right. It was.
I know.
I didn't understand who organized that. Why do we have to do that? Maybe because there are so many runners coming that day, the first day that we were there, that they were just trying to separate us. That's the only thing that I can think of logically that is why the bibs were in one location and the t-shirts were in another. So maybe a little bit more of an organized process would be nice to run Disney, where we can get that all in one spot, shop, and go to the parks or something.
Those queues were funny too, because the one on the floor was just tape. Do you remember that one giant room that had just a queue of tape? And we were like,
do you remember just looking over at Jen and she's just walking it? She's like, guys, look. She's just like mazing herself around the tape.
There was no one there. So like, I can imagine it getting crazy when there are that many people there, but that tape queue, you would have been very close together. And I'm really glad there wasn't very many people because...
Do you remember when we left, it was already very tight?
Yeah.
Like, as we were leaving, it was like really already like wrapped around. So now I have to ask. I have to ask the $1 million question here. June should be the open registration for next Princess Half Marathon. Are we in, my girls? What's going on? We trying this bad boy again? Let's hear it.
Take 2. What is the date? Is it Nicole's birthday again? Because last year it was fun.
We got like around that.
The best birthday ever, guys.
It was your actual birthday for our Run Disney, and we had some really fun photo shoots for your birthday. Random side question. I see people on Instagram posting photos of their medals. Do they bring their old medals to the new one? Because like the maximum you would get in a weekend is 4, right? but I've seen
You're
people
right. I
standing in
have
front of the
seen people
castle
with like
with like
arms full.
arms full, and
So
I'm
they
like,
did a perfect season, which is like they did Wine and Dine, Marathon Weekend,
oh
Princess
my
Weekend, and Springtime
god.
Surprise. So they put it all in their arms. I've seen that on around their neck.
So you just
I mean,
carry your
that's
medals with you just to like that's taking
a
up some
lot.
valuable real estate in my suitcase.
So much pride with my 5K medal.
There's a 5K in Castaway Cay. So when I go on the cruise, it's not like an actual one. It used to be apparently, but now you just kind of tell them, "Hey, I'm going to go do the 5K," and you just do it and then you come back and say, "Hey, I did it," and they give
Yeah,
you a
it's not
medal.
like a big to do anymore.
No,
No, but we're going to be there. So I
Yeah,
told Chuck, I was like, "We're going to get up
there's no big
early
to
and
do
I'm going to do
anymore.
it." Just to get the medal.
get that
I
medal.
mean, but also think about the virtuals. There's virtual running now. And I talked to my coworker and she said she's done it and I'm like, do you have to like send your time and stuff? She's like, no, it's on the honor system. I'm like, on the honor system? Natalie's about to get a 10K medal, folks.
I remember they had the Frozen series last summer, and I really wanted them because I love Frozen so much, but I didn't because I'm like, am I really going to do it? And then I will really feel like a fraud.
To wrap it up for people, we would be happy to give tips and tricks on not knowing what we are doing whatsoever. But you girls here at Mouse Ears and Mommy Tears, we don't know anything about Disney.
I can point
but
you in
we
the
are
direction
we can
of a
we
really
can
good
point
account.
you.
We can help you have fun
Yeah.
on the course with the photo pass people. That is our expertise.
If you want
on
to dance
Run
But I
Disney.
the
can
5K
say,
and enjoy
I can
yourself,
say, if you're afraid to do it, do it.
yeah, do
Because
the 5K.
we had no idea what we were doing and we still had a great time.
Mhm.
We were still laughing and taking it all in. I was very nervous that the whole thing wasn't going to pan out right. I thought we were going to oversleep, get on the wrong bus, run the wrong race, not get our shirts, take the wrong bibs. Like everything that could have went wrong. I was like, I'm surprised that we crossed that finish line like this because we knew the camera was there.
I know. It was a good
Thank God a
end photo.
medal because I really didn't think we were going to be able to pull it off. Not actual running, just the whole nuance.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a learning curve. Do your
Definitely
research.
out of
Definitely a
our
learning
comfort
curve.
zone too. It's nothing
Yeah.
that we would ever do separately. So it was a really nice experience to do it with you guys too
Yeah,
for
I
our
had
first
fun.
Run Disney.
It's a fun girls
To
trip.
do
I
it with
think
someone who
too.
hasn't done it
Yeah.
is really the best way to do it. And like
Yeah.
because I felt like there was no pressure whatsoever.
Yeah.
So thanks for being my spontaneous mommy besties.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And
It
I
was a
would
good
do it
time. I
again.
had a blast. I'd do it again. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go dance our way through a 5K.
So yes, the $1 million question is we would all do it again.
Okay, the costumes
Right.
totally make it worth it too. That was really fun.
That was so much fun. Costume
Let's be
planning.
real, it's the reason why we did it.
I know.
Let's be real.
Okay, I know we're almost done, but like it took us a while to nail down what we were going to be. I remember I have an entire Pinterest board of ideas for that we like were matching.
Yes, so
We had to
many.
have a theme. We had to be a person. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Highly recommend it. It's more fun than I can only assume a normal 5K.
What about those people who ran in regular running gear? Like,
Oh, I
what are you
know.
home? What are you
It's
home?
Disney.
What are you doing?
Get dressed
This is the
up.
most magical place on earth. You should be dressed up
I
like a
know.
princess.
Come on.
No. It's your one time to do it.
Sweatpants.
Okay, but side note also, again, they just changed the costume rules. So you can't do a lot of things. Like there's like different rules of things. I don't know what they are, but I know that people were in an uproar because what you normally would be able to wear, you can't wear now. I think you can't have a
know.
mask. And I think it like can't
I don't
like
think you ever could.
honestly, I have no idea. I again know nothing. But I do know they changed it. Don't know from I think it's like people that make things out of like cardboard or something. They like run like like if
The
they're like
really
Rex
intricate
and they're
ones.
wearing an actual dinosaur costume. Like I think they're like, that's a bit much.
Right? I want to be the photo pass guys.
Oh my
I
god.
want that green tent, and I'm gonna walk with the green tent.
But we saw the photo pass people coming and we would like pretend that was the only time we would run. I'm
All
calling
right, guys,
this
ready
out.
pose.
We our pictures are us running, but we're not actually running. We're just, photo running.
Definitely share some of these photos on
We'll
our
do a montage.
Instagram, make a reel. We should let people know just how much fun we had with those
Yes.
photographers.
How much fun the photo class people are, and how much of a fraud we are because we did not run.
I think we should change the title of this to Fraud Friends. Fraud
We're not
Friends,
real.
our Run Disney experience.
Yeah, I do it
I'm
again.
gonna wrap it up right here. I'm gonna let everybody know that today little Ezra said, I want pizza. I was like, okay, I'll make you pizza. But I made a non-pizza, like, like a little flatbread pizza.
Uh-oh.
And he went into complete rage and then cried in his pizza. And then he saw that Nathan got a dessert. So then he cried, and I am a tired woman. So Ezra ate a mini Trader Joe's chocolate cone today for dinner. I just threw a little pixie dust on it, put him his pajamas, and called it a day, guys. So throw a pixie dust on those tantrums. Have a good night, folks. Love ya.
Love you. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.